Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade, and today we're going to be taking a look at a trade on gold. We're actually currently rejecting one of the trend lines on the 60-minute chart, where we had price come up, and it did give us a nice double top pattern up here that if you were a little bit slow for, it did move pretty quickly, so you may have missed that one. But now that we've broken back underneath the channel high in this case, what we're looking to do is basically just hop on board with this move. Now that we know that the sellers are definitely in this game, first of all, with a big sign from that double top pattern there, when we fell below both of the BMTs right here, now we're just waiting for a pullback into a wave pattern so we can continue this trade right back short again. So now we're just going to place our orders out ahead of time here, and we'll see if we can get triggered in. So the entry short right now is sitting at 1351.2. We'll see if we can get filled here. Now, when we get filled, our stop is just going to go above the entry candle here, just because the amount of risk, this puts our stop basically right at the wedge highs here, and there's really no point in putting it much higher than that. If price does end up tagging us in and then reversing back up to the highs, we know that this wedge, instead of respecting the wedge, we're just going to start breaking back through it. So we just want to get out ahead of that. Now, if we do start falling back lower, what we're looking to do is basically take the first target off at +5. We'll leave the stop back where it is once we get that first target. We'll be gunning for another +10 after that. So if we do get filled here at 51.2, we'll be looking at 50.2, so just below the swing low down here for that second target. Once we get that second target filled, then we'll move the stop from the swing high up here down to our point of entry, currently sitting at 51.2. Now, we will be trailing that final one down. Because this is a resistance zone on a 60-minute chart, we're looking for a little bit of a bigger move. Now, chances are we will bounce at one of our extensions down here, but more likely than not, rather, since we're coming off of the wedge highs on a 60-minute, a really big time frame, we're really expecting to catch a nice move further down. But because that's going to happen, what we'll do is once we tag this down here, this 49.6 or so, then we'll look to start trailing the stop down along with this move, just in case we do end up getting a little bit of a reversal to come back up. We don't want to get stopped out of break even and squander the rest of this winner. So now we're just waiting to get filled here at 51.2. Kind of a slow start to the morning. You know, we just opened up. Gold opens up at 820, and normally you see quite a bit more price action than this. But right now we're actually moving pretty slow, which is kind of unseasonable in terms of gold. So there we go. So now that we got our fill, now we can just move our stops together here, and actually right where it is now is perfect. So our stop should be at 51.8, and we've got it locked in there, so that's good. Again, we're taking the first target off at +5. The stop is going to stay up here until we get the second target down here at +10. And then we're looking to basically trail this move down. Now, because we don't really have a final target, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop this down here to 44.1 at that previous low. I don't think we'll get there all in one solid move, but this way the target's kind of out of the way. That way that will allow us to trail the remainder with this stop down with this move here. So what we'll do is we'll just resize this up a little bit so we can see it better. And as we start falling here, once we can get these filled, perfect, so we just got the first target filled. As we fall here, then we'll be able to start ratcheting down with this move. So what we'll do is, now that we have that first target filled, again, we're not moving the stop until we get that second target. So we've got our first target sitting here at 51.8, looking for a final push down to 50.2 before we start really looking for this thing to take off to the downside. It would be nice if it got down to 44.1, but I really doubt it'll go that far in one solid move. With as slow as this open has been, at least, gold definitely can make those kinds of moves, but with this kind of open, it's probably not going to happen. We'll probably stop maybe halfway from there. So now that we've got our fill, we're pretty much just waiting for price to fall from here. So what we'll do is we'll come back in a little bit once we get this price to really start going in our favor. All right, guys, we're back. We've got our stop locked in right now at 48.5 from our entry here. That gives us 27 ticks, and we just got stopped out. So overall, made a pretty solid move down. It did give us that little bounce that we were hoping to avoid at that extension target there, but it only lasted for a little bit before it cracked back underneath that again. So that's kind of the nice thing when you're trading with these big 60-minute levels, 30-minute levels. They usually tend to work for a little bit more than just your typical 1, 2, 3 wave, go into target, and then the market does whatever else it wants after that. So overall, we took 2 contracts off at +5. So what we'll do here is we'll grab our handy dandy little calculator tool. So we took 2 contracts off at +5 for 10, another 10, and then 27 for a total of $470 on the trade. Overall, really solid trade off of a nice trend line on the 60-minute. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade, and don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. Have a good one.